Hi guys, it's markabusi here and we're back with another song reaction, and today we're doing Corallium by BAND-MAID. Now I know what you BAND-MAID fans are thinking. You're thinking, wait Mark, you've already did Corallium. Why are you reacting to it again? And I'll tell you, you might have noticed the wee white border. There's a reason for that. So, Dave, you know Dave, everybody knows Dave, he's a good lad. He's asked me, right, to deep dive Corallium, specifically by each member of the band, which feels a bit daunting. I don't know how much extra information I'm going to be able to pass out from that, but we're going to give it a bloody good shot. We're going to give it a good shot. It's going to be an editing nightmare, and so I figured the best way for me to do that was to colour coordinate with each member of the band. So everybody's got their own colour. And listen, I have put no effort into thinking about which colour goes with each member of that band. If I've picked the wrong colour, in your opinion, fine, I'll take the hat. I wrote their names down, I wrote a colour next to it, and that's how I'm working it. It's going to make editing a lot easier for me. So that's that pretty much. You're just going to have to deal with it. So I've started with Miku because I figured, well, firstly Miku's my lass, and secondly because she's technically doing the least in the band, but she's also doing the stuff that's the hardest here because she's doing the rhythm guitar and the backing vocals. My thinking is kinda get her out of the way. I can't hear what she's doing as much. So for the rhythm guitar, from what I can tell, basically the intro is just 4 chords and she's just playing the 4 chords. Here it's in the verse, it's just 2 chords repeating. It's kind of changing quite quickly while she's doing a lot of backing vocals. I've said multiple times, I think that Miku has a nicer sounding singing voice than Psyche. I fucking love Miku's backing singing. But yeah, it's kind of, the thing that I like about Miku is that obviously she didn't know how to play the guitar when she first started the band, and she's been learning it as she goes along. It's quite nice to see the progress that she's been making, because I'm certain that some of that isn't just her playing basic chords. Like, it can't be. There's too many guitars happening. I don't know how much it is her playing what you would describe as lead guitar. The thing is, right, that guitar line is absolutely fucking mental. And it's mental because of the last part when it's going meow, 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 and you can, like, I think the only way you can do that is by going down the fretboard, but you have to do it with such precision to get it so that it actually sounds right the way that sounds, and it's not just fucking about on a fretboard. It's quite impressive. Also, the nice little kind of intro music that was, I'm assuming, programmed by Konami, because as far as I'm aware, she's the one who kind of sits back and I think she constructs the songs on like a program, and then once it's all kind of written out that way, then they sit down and learn it, which is a crazy way of writing a song. weird because she started off doing like proper metal drumming there. At the verse, she's doing almost a kind of disco drum beat. See with the kind of what she's doing with the kind of hi-hat where she's opening and closing it on the second beat of the four, so it's gone like it's a disco drum beat. It's a subtle thing, but it is what aids in making that part quite catchy. Because if she had just done a normal drum beat, it would have kind of just blended in and it would have been fine. But the disco drum beat is what makes you go. It kind of subconsciously gets a wee groove in your head. For the intro, Miku was kinda just, as far as I can tell anyway, just playing the chords. Here's what I will say about this, right? The production on it is not the greatest. You could barely make out the rhythm guitar, and the bass tone is quite cool. It's quite kind of chunky and it's got a nice bit of grit behind it, but it's also kinda buried by how bassy the production on the drum kit is. Whenever she's hitting a bass drum, I think because the frequencies of the bass drum in the recording is very, very similar or close to the frequencies that the bass is happening to be playing through, it kind of dulls the clarity of the bass tone because the bass drum's punching through as much. And it makes it harder to tell exactly what it is that she's playing. You only really get it when the drums kind of calm down a little bit. But during heavy sections, unless she goes kind of high, you're not getting it. I think she was just doing the kind of root notes in the intro, and then in the verse, she's doing a kind of cool thing where she slowly kind of works her way up the bass and then back down again in like a 4-bar run. Really weird how Saiki always chooses what melody she's choosing to sing over these parts, because that's metal. Like musically that's metal. But I keep on saying that BAND-MAID are an emo band, and you guys are like, how the fuck are they an emo band? They're like a hard rock metal band. It's her melodies, it's her choice in melodies are stripped straight from emo bands. I'm not apologising for that though, that's what she does. And is her ability to cut through a really complicated section and find the easiest melody to go with that is quite admirable. Not even to sing through it, it's just not an easy part to find a melody to go with. Because there's so much going on, you're kind of fighting the guitar line. So it's like you kind of want to do something that's catchy, but if you go over the top with your singing, it's just going to become quite muddled with what everybody else is doing. So it's really clever the way she's managed to get quite a kind of melodic but simple kind of verse line for this that doesn't take away from what anybody else is doing. So it's a really subtle way to kind of build up tension throughout the verse. She starts by doing like a little picky lead line, and then when it gets to the second half of the verse, she then kicks into kind of sliding octaves, which is then preparing you for there's a change happening here. It's the same as if like a drummer's playing on a hi-hat and then they open the hi-hat. It's a kind of audio like signal that a change is coming. Everybody keeps on making comments about how like Miku's got really strong legs. Surely Akane's got stronger legs. With just the double bass skills. Like, how is she not the strongest member of the band? By quite a margin. Because Christ almighty, that's a workout. I don't like, see when she starts to do like kind of borderline rapping, loses me. I'm not into it. She's better when she's just belting out heavy hitting notes. I mean, it's fine, it doesn't last for very long, so it's not that big a deal. Yeah, I think she actually is just playing like basic rhythm guitar chords there just to kind of fill a bit of depth, which doesn't seem like an important job, but if you strip that out, the song would feel significantly emptier because of it. And because Misa does what Misa does, you kind of need something simple in there that's just holding the tune going. I wouldn't be surprised if in your monitors, Psyche has what Misa's doing louder than the other instruments, because that's where she's going to hang her melody on. It's also where Miku's going to hang her backing singing on, so yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. And then in the second verse, she's playing something completely different, but I think it might actually be more or less the same thing, just an octave higher. I think she's just went from the low E, which I suspect is actually tuned to drop D, and she's just went to the high D string, but it's playing the same thing, so she'll be like, oh, way up here. It's just kind of cool. It's an interesting little thing that BAND-MAID does, where if they are repeating a part, they make sure to not actually repeat the part. they go and take it and they twist it and they change it and they shape it into something slightly different, so that it always makes it so that you've got something interesting to pick up on. That bit there where they're playing in 4/4, but she's doing something on the toms for 6 beats and leaving the last 2 empty, is almost like she's going to war. Like seeing like in a film where 2 armies are coming together. It's kind of like the build up to that. It's fucking wild. But again though, I don't like the production on her drums. Parts of it are too strong compared to the other parts that are too weak. Her toms sound almost non-existent. A snare drum's not got that much a crack to it, but the bass drum's really, really hard hitting. It just doesn't make a lot of sense why they went for so much bass rather than clarity. And then again there, so she does like the first line, it's a catchy melody, so then she'll repeat that, that's the earworm, and then on the third line, she'll then do the same, it's like the same rhythm, but she's dropped the melodies to give it a kind of, more of a kind of sadder edge, or a more kind of melancholic feel to it. The repetition of that rhythm is what makes that bit catchy. Lovely wee bit of barking singing. That's just nuts. It's just such a batshit crazy guitar line. And my only issue with it is, right, the production. See, because there's borderline no rhythm guitar that you can hear in that, it makes it feel kinda empty. You've got like a really heavy and deep sounding rhythm section, and then she's got so much treble on her guitar. She's got a kind of chorus effect, I think, on her guitar that makes it sound, there's no low end to it. So because you've got a really low, you've got like loads of low end on the rhythm section, loads of high end on the guitar, nothing's happening in the middle. And it means that Psyche's voice can sit in there perfectly fine. It does make it feel slightly empty. And that's strange when normally for me BAND-MAID is wall of noise. This isn't. It's like a valley of noise. I mean, you'd be forgiven for thinking that that was a guitar solo, but it actually wasn't. What it was a guitar and a bass solo, because there's no way that Misa's sitting back and just letting the guitar take all the spotlight. So whenever that shit kicks in, she's like, right, hold my beer, or if I remember rightly, whiskey. Not the craziest bass solo I've ever seen from her, but definitely up there. I will say what she does do very, very well, right, is when the drums are going tonto, she is very good at just accentuating exactly what that drum kit is doing to make an absolute fucking freight train wall of noise. So she's doing that same thing again in the bridge as she does in the chorus, where she'll kind of double up the first line of melody, then drop the melody again to kind of give it that sad edge. But what I like about the bridge is she's kind of really low. It's like a really kind of low, softly approach to the melody. And then as it's hitting out, she then pushes the power in behind it just to get that shove up into the chorus. For the solo, she kept it really, really simple and just like really basic with the snare and the crash, but accented the bass drum in a really weird pattern to kind of highlight what the guitar and the bass were both doing. That was just a nice, clever bit of drumming. It's kind of weird that this is like almost like a metal rock song, but when it gets to that section, Miku is breaking out like pop runs, almost like she would have done on her Clupo side project. It's a cool little addition, but also then because it's drenched in reverb, it goes well with the kind of synthy swelling noise in the background to just make it feel bigger than it actually is. hope you guys appreciate that I did not stop during that solo. And you know my opinion on solos. Solos are there for me to pause to talk about what was just happening in the chorus. But I've been nice this time. I have been nice and I have left it. And if you don't appreciate that, I don't know what more I can do for you. As far as I'm concerned, it was a solo. It was good. It was fine. Like, she's really good at playing the guitar. She's really good at playing solos. They don't do anything for me. I like a good melody. I'm a melody man. Always will be. I don't want to hear any complaints about it. Because it's water off of a duck's back. I'm the duck. For me. Well, that was my attempt at a deep dive into Corallium by BAND-MAID. Let me know, guys, what you thought. I'm experimenting with the editing. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know if it's going to make any sense or if it's going to be a total mess. I've tried my best. Dave, thank you very much for all the support that you give the channel. I would like to thank the BAND-MAID community because I did take a little bit of a break and you've been really nice about it and supportive. Also, I want to use this opportunity to do a wee bit of plugging. So, guys, I've set up a second channel. It is just markabusi. I'm writing an album. And it's not going to be as good as BAND-MAID. The production's going to be worse. The songs are going to be worse. The musicianship's going to be worse. But I'm writing an album. And a lot of the reason why I've been able to do that is because of the support that I've had on this channel from you guys. And so, thank you very much for that. My guitar's not as nice as Konami's, but it's one of the prettiest guitars I've ever seen, and I love it. So you should come along and subscribe to that, because there's going to be it's going to start off with unboxing videos whilst I'm getting the equipment in. Where's something that I can show you that I've got, like my kazoo. And then from there we'll be going into me learning how to use FL Studio, which is the software that I'm using to try and record it all. Then just the trials and tribulations of writing songs and trying to get them to sound the way that they sound in my head on this fucking computer. That's the channel. It's going to be an interesting journey. Could be a total failure, could be a success. That was my deep dive. That was my plug. That was Corallium by BAND-MAID. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll maybe see you next time.